Shalom, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from, elders, bishops, elders on down. And Shalom to the elect, 144,000 and the 1/3. Alright. So this lesson is it's going to go into a video I seen today from the Joe Rogan podcast. Before that, I'm going to read this. Okay, this is Daniel chapter 8 and 25. And it says, "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand." And we're hastily approaching that time where he's going to try to stand up against the prince of princes, king of kings, Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the rest of the saints. Alright, but the point is here for this lesson, when it mentions through his policy, he shall also cause craft to prosper. Now I'm going to read this in the NLT. It actually gives a very good exposition. It says, "He will be a master of deception and will become arrogant. He will destroy many without warning. He will even take on the prince of princes in battle, but he will be broken, though not by human power." Ooh, that's fire right there, man. That's going into that spiritual, celestial power, man. But as it says, he will be a master of deception, and he will become arrogant. And that's what it says. He will, through peace, he shall destroy many. He will destroy many without warning. Right? Now, let's look up that word, craft. So this man, he knows about human psychology. He knows about how the body works, body language, how the mind works, how cravings work, lust. So the word here is marma, which means deceit and treachery, right? And the root word is rama, which means to cast, shoot, hurl, to beguile, to deceive, mislead, deal treacherously. All right, so this man has caused that treachery, deceit, lies through his devices, pretty much to prosper and thrive in this world, man, where pretty much lies are rewarded here, man. Lies are rewarded, treachery, injury, okay, deceit, lying to people on a mass scale. Anyway, I'm gonna play this clip, short clip. It says, "Did 1965's If I Were the Devil prophesy America's downfall?" Okay, and we're gonna get to the answer of that, to the bottom of that.
Paul Harvey, you know who that is?
Sure.
So he did a thing, God, back in the 60s or 70s, and he equated it to the devil. And maybe it is. Or you could also say it's just that. But he did a radio piece on how to destroy America, the social fabric of it.
Wow.
And it's as though somebody just took America, the social fabric of America from the late 60s to today. And the timeline of the things that he said, it's pretty wicked. It's pretty powerful.
Wow. I'm not shocked. I mean, if you think about all the things that we do to manipulate other countries, I'm not shocked that someone would do that and manipulate us, and that they would do it through education institutions. That's the way to do it. You get kids, and then you train them as they leave, and then they go into the workforce. They have these ideas like burned into their heads. Yeah. And that's...
All right, the scripture says, train up a child in a way. All right? Train up a child. And that's what they understand. Esau knows that. Esau knows the scriptures, right? So they have been training up your children, right? Since you put them in the public school system, right? They have been training your child for you. So when the child comes home, he's foreign, man. He's different, And that's why when the child gets to a certain age, the mom and dad, they're not cool, pretty much fuck the household. That's what it is. That shouldn't be a phase. Do you think that was a phase in the ancient world where fuck you, mom, F you, dad. You know, oh, my parents aren't cool. My parents are lame, and all this madness. You know what I'm saying? When those people were your dependency for survival, learning skills. But since you want to transfer that to the public school system, hey, here's your product.
Probably what all this gender confusion shit is. This giant uptick of it. It's literally probably engineered, and I think that's also what a lot of the climate stuff is, and a lot of the different things that people are fighting over. It's not just these big financial institutions that are invested in climate change and green energy and all these different things, but it's also other countries just fucking with us. I think it's a lot of the trolling that you're seeing online is fueled by other countries. I think a lot of the narratives that get pushed are fueled by other countries, and I think that's what we would do if we're probably doing it too.
I'm sure.
I'm sure we are.
It's a psyop, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we're doing it too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's also one of the reasons why it would be nice to be able to lock down the internet. We have to be able to stop that. So we're going to only have government-approved internet like China has. That's how China keeps us from interfering with their lives. And the only way that we know that we're going to do the right thing over here. But you know what? China's really playing. They're doing something nasty. So we're not going to let them in on our internet anymore. We're going to shut our internet down and only make it for people in North America. And everybody be like, okay, got to keep China out. Yeah, slowly but surely, if we let them, they'll try to get more and more control. And that gets fucking super sketchy. Super sketchy.
Yep.
So what did you find this Green Beret?
I mean, I went down a path, and I don't think I'm going to get there, because would the Green Beret handbook that tells you how to overthrow a government be available on the internet?
It better not be.
If you hear, play a little of that Yuri Bezmenov. I know we played it many times, but you need to hear it because it's so wild to watch him say it. You watch him say it in 1984, and back then,
you pull up the Paul Harvey thing from whenever that was about
maybe
the
let's
devil.
play that. Pull that up because
In the Yuri Bezmenov, that's the lesson I just did, a few lessons ago, where he was a KGB fleer, right? He fled and he came to Canada and he exposed how they brainwash people, and he said it's going on in America, right? And I have this little thing here just to kind of back up before we get into the video. This is from, again, I did the lesson from this, freecarmag.com, right? It says Bezmenov describes this process as a great brainwashing that has 4 basic stages. The first stage is called demoralization, which takes from 15 to 20 years to achieve. Now you count from the 60s, it goes until when the late 70s to the 80s. By that time, things were open, things were different, right? Different revolutions were already taking place, and the seeds were already hatching. They weren't planted, they were already planted in the 60s, and they were hatching into the new generations, to the 90s, to the 2000s, to the fuckery and madness that you have now, you know, to the end of times madness, that kind of scale. So 15 to 20 years, right? Just to bring that out. And that was the title of this, just right? Yuri Bezmenov predicted demotorization in 1984 and the tyranny of woke, right?
I haven't heard that, and I've heard the Bezmenov thing. We played it like 5 times at least.
It'll blow your mind when you hear this.
It's not good, but it also gives us a chance to right the ship. It hasn't fucking hit the rocks yet. Like, we can still come out of this.
And that's that hope, man. Hope. You know, that a lot of these people still have hope. They shall cry for wine in the streets, right? 2nd Ezra 5:8. At the same time shall men hope but obtain nothing. So hey, you guys keep hoping, but this place is finished. This place is done. Stick a fork in it.
Paul Harvey.
If I were the devil.
Is this the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I were the devil.
Your health is your biggest asset. Health for California.
If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the...
And that "the," right? That "the" is you people. Us. Everybody. And how is he going to do it? Revelation 13 and 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. There's no distinction, man. No status. All right? Nothing. Everybody.
United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old, I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. Wow. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door.
Holy shit.
Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
What year was that?
It was 65, but
Holy shit.
1965.
That's amazing. 65. Wow. April 3rd, 1965. Paul Harvey nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can use devil as a euphemism for anything that you want.
Yeah.
But the result's the same, and we're seeing it. We're seeing that. You know, I think they said, or somebody said, that all these things are bad. Work ethic, all these things are racist.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's mostly.
Yeah. Toxic masculinity.
Oh yeah, I've been accused of that.
Congratulations. You're on the right side. That's a fascinating one. Yeah. Defund the police. Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that worked great.
Yeah, they're all in the same sort of category of things. Like, that seems silly. Seems silly to think that way. You need all of it. You need masculinity and femininity. It's okay. Just be whatever you are, but you fucking need it.
Yeah.
And if you want to tell those dudes that are playing football that they're toxic masculine, what else are you gonna get? Who's gonna play football other than like super aggressive alpha males? What are you talking about?
But why is
It's
that?
not toxic.
That's not toxic.
No, it's just natural masculine behavior.
Yeah.
It's not toxic. What about toxic? It's all stupid. That term, as applied, it's like.
But these are all terms that have been created. It's fascinating that language is being reinvented before our eyes.
Yeah.
There's all these new words that are just meant to keep one person from disagreeing with another person's position.
Mm-hmm.
I love microaggressions.
That's a great one.
Anyway, that was pretty much on that. You know, hope you're edified. Kal halalim. La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Mekah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from. And shalom to the elect. Until next time.